Hello, I'm Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be talking all things cotton, because cotton was, or is, the winner of the Monster Point survey for North America. So Japan got Yog, Korea got Fujin, North America got cotton. We are the best. And the reason why cotton is so overwhelmingly powerful, and in my opinion the best card to actually win the Monster Point survey, is that you do want duplicates. While Fujin and Yog are powerful cards, once you already have one, the need to actually have more is somewhat lackluster. Like, for example, let's say you were to purchase Yog or Fujin when it comes out. You would basically be saying, oh great, I have a nice card, but then the next Godfest you roll and you roll another one. You are going to be sad because, yes, sure, you can save inheriting around Fujin, but it's really just a luxury at that point. Whereas Cotton, because she has 5 distinct evolutions, you are going to be happy rolling duplicates because you can make more of each color, and that's going to basically give your monster box even more depth and diversity overall. So this video / article will be summarizing my thoughts and opinions on all 5 cottons, as well as how you should go about this $1 million monster point price tag. Now, before I go any further, I want to have these big red letters read out loud. Do not nuke your box for monster points. That's going to be something I probably will say several times throughout the video, because it is very important that you do not destroy your monster box just to buy cotton. I know she is cute and adorable, but you do need to actually have something left in your monster box afterwards. And because of that, I'm going to also be explaining how or why cotton can, or how you can actually make up the million monster points without destroying your box overall. So 1 million monster points. So cotton will be the most expensive card to date in the Monster Point shop, and while 1 million does sound very daunting for a newer player, if you are an older or more veteran player, you've probably acquired more than 1 million monster points just logging in over the past couple of years. And because of this, you may have actually built up a large reservoir over time, and even though you may have dumped a bunch in, say, purchasing Dark Athena, that was a long time ago, and even in that time frame, we've gained a lot more monster points as well. However, with that being said, I do not want you to start selling or liquidating your monster box to try and get that million monster point threshold. And this is because if you are selling something that's not that does not have numerous duplicates in your box, you're going to be potentially running into a bad scenario. So, for example, all cards to a certain extent, at least the Pantheon cards and Godfest exclusives, kind of go through like a cyclic pattern of power and prowess. So for example, Ganesha upon his release was pretty lackluster and sad for the most part. And I know a lot of people may or may not have sold him off at that point in time, even though they only had one of them, because, well, we thought he could be he's just kind of pointless. He just gives gold, whoop-de-doo. However, with his newer evolutions over time, he's become one of the most important or vital cards to own for chaining rank ups and planning out your rank experience. So we want to avoid this kind of debacle in the future, so do not sell cards, especially if you only have a single copy of them. And even though it may seem a little perplexing to spend 1 million monster points on a sub, to be fair, a strong leader is only as powerful as the subs that are supporting it. So even though you may think, well, I'd rather spend my monster points on something that's a leader, well, none of the monster point cards are necessarily that great at this point in time, as well as Cotton having so much flexibility and viability moving forward. And in all honesty, I do not really foresee gung-ho power creeping Cotton out of existence or relevancy, because she has such amazing awakenings, great base active, and she just fits on so many different teams, and it's going to be hard to really dethrone Cotton, so to speak. So it is, I'd say, a very good long-term purchase, because even if like newer teams come out, you can always switch and de-evolve your Cotton into another form, and then suddenly you have another great sub at the same time. So trying to acquire these million monster points, I want to talk about 6-star Godfest exclusives. So 6-star Godfest exclusives can be sold for 50,000 monster points, and this may feel tempting, but I strongly encourage you not to do so. And this is because we're starting to enter a phase in which 6-star Godfest exclusives are receiving these mega awoken evolutions, starting with Blue and Green Sonya. And before these mega evolutions, Blue and Green Sonya were just kind of lackluster, like you really couldn't use them very well, but after these evolutions, they gained better active skill, tremendous leadership potential, amazing awakening, so suddenly they went from basically 0 to hero, and it wouldn't be unusual if more 6-star Godfest exclusives follow this train of thought. What if those red Odins and blue Odins suddenly become the next magical and big thing? Well, you want to make sure you actually have them, so because we don't even know what's going to be coming out in Japan, even though we kind of see ahead by about 2 to 3 months, nothing has come out. There is no point in really selling them because you might be wasting an amazing card. And to be fair, 6-star Godfest exclusives are very hard to actually roll and reacquire, so you don't want to have this seller's remorse. Furthermore, 6-star Godfest exclusives are needed for the future trading post, and basically, in essence, the future trading post allows you to trade 4 6-star Godfest exclusives or rare collab cards for a card of your choice. So you want to really keep those 6-star Godfest exclusives, even like it's just not a good time to really sell them overall. So with that in mind, what is safe to sell? So basically, provided the card is not something incredibly useful, you want to have lots and lots of duplicates of, which should be relatively self-explanatory, a good rule of thumb is to keep at least 3. And I say 3 because what if the card receives split evolutions and you need to have both forms? What if they receive weapon assist evolutions and you want to obviously pursue those? Obviously, this rule of 3 is just a guideline. It's not a hard, fast rule. You could maybe go down to 2, and certain cards you probably can safely go down to 1. And that mostly applies to non-Pantheon cards that pop out of the rare machine. And this is because Pantheon cards, for the most part, tend to kind of go through this pattern. They receive an ultimate evolution, then eventually an awoken, and then a reincarnated, and maybe a weapon assist thrown in somewhere. So we kind of can expect this pattern to happen over time, and if a card is missing all of those evolutions, well, they might transform as the next big hero thing. So obviously don't get rid of them. However, in that same breath, these non-Pantheon cards, such as these Dragon Swordsmans, Gung-Ho really doesn't love them. Like, they were 4-star bases to start with, and it's very unlikely they're going to suddenly gain such incredible new power. So keeping just 1 is usually a good, safe bet, because even that their base active skill may be kind of awkward or lackluster, it's good to have at least 1 available in case you really want to actually utilize them for whatever strange reason. So again, only sell cards if you have excessive number of duplicates, or they are these kind of terrible-ish cards for the most part that really don't have much hope. Again, those are the 4-star base cards, such as those Dragon Swordsmen or other things like that. So what if I really want to get lots of monster points and I have tons of magic stones to blow? Well, assuming you basically have unlimited magic stones and you want to acquire monster points very quickly, the best thing to do is roll in these 10-stone rare machine events. And this is because the lowest rarity card you can roll from these events will sell for at least 15,000 monster points. So if we compare this to the rare machine where the lowest card is 5,000, you are coming out ahead over time in the long run. Furthermore, these 10-stone events tend to have very strong value at the lower rarities, and you may even be missing those for the most part. So right now, we have the Heroine event going on, and we have Dragonbound Dragon Caller starting tomorrow. And if you are missing cards from both of those events, I would strongly encourage you to roll heavily in Dragonbound Dragon Caller, because it is arguably the best event to actually participate in, because it has the strongest value at the lowest rarity. The 5-star cards are incredibly powerful, and you do want to actually at least have at least 1 or 2 of them. So if you do have stones to blow and you're thinking, I want lots of monster points, roll Dragonbound Dragon Caller, keep a couple of each duplicate, and sell off the extras. You'll actually come out ahead. But with that being said, you can also even roll Evolved Cotton from Dragonbound Dragon Caller, so it's another nice little collateral benefit overall. So in addition to that, there are going to be these Gacha Dragon rewards. So Gacha Dragon was an event that occurred in Japan quite some time ago, and in essence it gives lots of free rolls as well as numerous other rewards. And in the case for North America, we can gain 3 5-year anniversary Tamajas, which can be sold for 55,555 monster points. So the 3 of those may push yourself above the million threshold required. You may not actually need to sell or liquidate your monster box. So just keep that in mind, and always participate in Gacha Dragon. I'm going to be doing a post about it in a video either tonight or tomorrow. I've been quite busy these past few days, but something again to look forward to. So now let's talk about Cotton. So why is Cotton so desirable and so popular? And the biggest reason is because she fits well on basically every single team in the game, and that is basically credited to her 5 distinct evolutions. And she is one of 2 6-star Godfest exclusives that can don different hats, and essentially she changes her primary attribute as well as the colors she creates from her active skill, her typings, her weighted stats, and basically where she can fit on different teams. So with that being said, you want to have lots of duplicates because you want to have possibly multiple different Cottons for different types of teams. So all Cottons are going to be sharing the same archetype of a base active skill with a 5-turn cooldown that generates their primary attribute orbs as well as hard orbs at the same time. So that right there is a tremendous value. If you compare it to something like Andromeda or Wukong or that series, those have usually an 8-turn base cooldown, whereas Cotton has 5. However, to kind of compensate, there's a no Skyfall clause. But some people may think, well, no Skyfall sounds like a big drawback, but in actuality, it can be somewhat of a blessing because A, it reduces the cooldown so you can easily inherit something over top of Cotton, but it also provides you with pseudo damage control, or a level of damage control. You basically prevent any Skyfalls from magically matching. You prevent any colors from magically matching if there is a color absorbed. So this type of active skill can be very beneficial, and the fact that it's so short makes it very easy to inherit over top. With that being said, all Cottons are going to have the exact same Awakening lineup. So they all are going to be Bind Immune. They have a single skill boost, a skill bind resist, a time extend, the amazing follow-up attack, as well as double 7 combo. So there are very few cards that are Bind Immune, follow-up attack, double 7 combo out there in the game. So we obviously want to try and acquire Cottons because it's going to help populate our teams with a tremendously high value card. And that paired with her multiple colors gives amazing flexibility. So where can we use Cotton? And in all honesty, Cotton can be really used on any team in the game. Like, every team can really benefit from Cotton because for the most part, most teams are going to be hitting 7 or more combos. We love having follow-up attacks to deal with resolve spawns, and being Bind Immune means that she's more self-sufficient. So can't really go wrong by using Cotton pretty much every single team. And now the hardest decision to make is which color you want to pursue, because you want to obviously maximize your usage from your Cotton. And this is assuming you only have one to actually purchase at this point in time. So just remember that all these evolutions can be reversed and changed into another color. So for example, let's say you made blue Cotton for now, and then later down the road you required, say, green Sonya, and you have a good green Sonya team. You can switch the Cotton to green in order to capitalize upon that. So base Cotton does have one of the strongest leader skills of the bunch. However, it's not that great, in all honesty, in the grand scheme of things, and you shouldn't be buying Cotton for this aspect. So she's cute, but let's just ignore that one for now. Next is Red Cotton. So Red Cotton is not going to be the most popular choice because A, fire teams are not so dominating. Maybe like only Diara I can really think of is going to be that game changing, so to speak. And the fact that her stats are very heavily skewed to attack means that she's losing out on health and recovery, which are, in my opinion, a bit more important overall. So it's a little harder to justify Red Cotton's usage. But again, take these recommendations with a grain of salt. If you have an incredible Diara team and you need that follow-up attack, Red Cotton may be the way to go. Next is Blue Cotton, and Blue Cotton is the most universally beneficial Cotton overall. And this is because she has an active skill that does not necessarily disrupt key colors for certain teams, but she has a massive amount of health. And this kind of makes her somewhat like Amatsu. And if you were unfortunate enough not to roll Amatsu, Blue Cotton is a reasonable substitute because she does have a shorter base cooldown, so it's easier to inherit over top of her. She does provide you with the double 7 combo, Bind Immune, and follow-up attack, which Amatsu also does. So she's kind of playing a similar role. They do cover the same colors, but one distinct benefit Cotton has is that her base active skill does not disrupt Blue Sonya's activation. And Blue Sonya is also very powerful at this point in time. So Blue Cotton can make for a very powerful sub on Blue Sonya teams because she's going to help provide you with water orbs and hard orbs at the same time, as well as basically having the 7 combo awakening, which is very desirable on Blue Sonya teams. Furthermore, if you're building more blue heavy Blue Hunter team, Blue Cotton again has nice synergy there because A, it's making blue orbs, so you're going to have much more damage output at the same time. So if you are unsure which Cotton to make, blue is usually a pretty safe default choice overall. Next is Green Cotton, and Green Cotton is going to be the other more popular option available because Green Sonya now exists. And the main issue of Green Sonya at this point in time is that there are no wood dragon cards with follow-up attack that do not disrupt her base disrupt her leader skill activation outside of Green Cotton. Sure, you can use Sylvie, but Sylvie is going to make you light and wood, which you can't utilize. Mamaji is off color, again, light wood problems there. So Green Cotton is really the only good option for Green Sonya for follow-up attack. And if you have a powerful Green Sonya team, you really want to have Green Cotton because it's going to basically take your team to the next level, so to speak. And in addition to that, Green Cotton is also balanced typing, so you can use any killer latent you want in the game. So again, that gives her even more diversity and flexibility overall. However, if you don't have a Green Sonya or a Green Sonya team, it's a little harder to justify Green Cotton's usage because, again, it may not necessarily fit very well on any other team. Light Cotton is in somewhat of an awkward place in my opinion, and this is mostly because Light has so many strong double 7 combo cards already, and it makes it a little harder for Light Cotton to somewhat compete against them. Furthermore, her sub-attribute is light, so you're not gaining extra rainbow color coverage. So teams like Edward or Riku, they're not going to be gaining that much value, so to speak, from her coloring, so that can be another bit of a drawback. So again, like, maybe if you can accommodate it around your Edward team, you have all the other colors covered, and you really need that light follow-up attack. Because, again, having light-based cards on Edward is more ideal or preferred. Maybe you can go for Light Cotton, but it's a little harder to justify her if you have other options available because she's not covering a different or unique color. However, that being said, Light Cotton does have the highest RCV of any of the other cottons, so it can be helpful if you're having issues healing up for your specific team. And last but I guess, well, not quite least, is Dark Cotton. So Dark Cotton does provide you with a follow-up attack, which is quite rare for Dark at this point in time. So if you have a mono Dark team, which doesn't really exist that much at this point in time, Dark Cotton can be useful on it. But again, she does suffer from a similar problem as Light Cotton in that she's not covering two distinct colors. So again, like Riku teams is already red, purple, so Dark Cotton's not covering much more colors, but if you use a blue cotton on Riku teams, you just cover 2 more colors, and then all you need is wood on Riku teams, and you're good to go. Usually it's solved by Odin Dragon, but the point of the matter is they're not covering too many colors, so it makes it a little harder for like Guard Break, Skill Charge, or those Rainbow Claws leaders to actually activate. So, in conclusion, Cotton is an incredible card to own, and having duplicates of her is always favorable because you can make her into different evolution forms to benefit other types of teams. And even if you choose to make her, say, Blue Cotton to start, and then you pull a Green Sonya in the future, you can always reverse and change her evolution. So Cotton is not necessarily ever going to go bad in your monster box, unlike other leaders, which is important because subs tend to last longer than leaders because leader skills can improve, but the strong types of subs don't really change. Like if we look at Dark Athena from the past, she was great upon release, but became somewhat obsolete to a certain extent over time. Whereas Cotton, because she's such a good sub, is going to always stay relevant. Like unless something more powerful than follow-up attack or 7 combo comes out that's easily available, Cotton is going to have lots of staying power. And even though the million monster point price tags is very high, you have to think, what else is there really that we can buy? Odin Dragon is great, of course, but only costs 300,000, and lots of players already have Odin Dragon, especially from the February quest dungeons that we had. And Amon is quite niche and situational, and very few players, I feel, for the most part, have purchased him. He's a bit more niche again overall. So what else are we going to be spending our monster points on? And we know it from a fact that Japan has not received any new monster point cards at any point in time. So what are we really saving them for? The 4 gentleman evolutions, which haven't come yet, are still quite lackluster. Like they don't really do much. Again, Odin Dragon is only real strong dragon card, and Amon is niche. So overall, it is worth purchasing Cotton if you have the monster points to do so. But once again, do not nuke your monster box for monster points because you are going to regret it down the road. So let me know which cotton you plan on, which cotton evolution you plan on pursuing and how many you plan to purchase in the comments below. Hopefully all the Mantastic day. Wish you all the best of luck in your own pad adventures and happy puzzling.